I'm Chad Plunket. I'm the director of the Charles Adams Studio Project. I say that CASP can be boiled down to 3 words, which is working artist studios or studio artist working. You can put them in whatever order you want. Simply put, artists come. That's everything from kids to retirees to college kids to workshops to professional artists. Professional artists rent studio time from us. Kids maybe come and do a little one-day workshop. So we have some different types of studios. We have live-work studios. You live in the back 500 square feet of the space, and that's your bedroom, living room, your kitchen is all one space. And then I think what's crazy for most people that aren't artists is the front 1,100 square feet of your space is studio, and they're connected. We have work studios. Work studios are just work studios. So they don't have the kitchen, they don't have the full bathroom, they just have a normal restroom. And so those are for artists that don't need to live here. Like they have a house, they just want a studio space. We have some public studios, which is our metal studio and our print studio. And then we have some galleries that we, in many ways, still think about as studios because it's where art is being hung and installed. One of the things which is also really part of our mission is that artists are working in safe spaces. And so there's ventilation in there, there's good lighting. First Friday happens and thousands of people walk through your studio. And so there's just the sort of the publicity of being a CASP live work artist. Working is important to us because we're not a museum. We don't collect work. We're really about artists making things. So 99% of the work that's in and around CASP is from a living artist who lives and works in this area. I don't know, we like to think at times that we would love for these people to stay here and live here forever, but we also know that our studios in many ways, it really can just be a launching pad to go on to great things. Some people don't know it, but the CASP logo, if you look at our actual signage, it's this grid drawing. Well, that grid is actually a garage door. And so when we were developing the kind of the aesthetic for CASP, we've really built things about as bare bones as you can build them. And it's important to us that when the public's walking by, if an artist is in their space, they can peek in, they can see what's going on. But also during big public events, they can open up that garage door. And really it's just a symbol that everybody's welcome to come in here. When I was an undergraduate at Texas Tech University and we would have an art show, we would find some weird abandoned building, rent it maybe, I don't really know how we came across some of these spaces, and we would put on a show and our friends would come. Now what can happen in the Lubbock art world is there's spaces where you have a show and thousands of people show up and look and buy work. And so it's really opened up, I think, Lubbock to everything that was going on. But I think for a long time, a lot of that activity was more underground. And it's just enabled it for people to get real exposure. And people from across the state and the country come and view shows and look at shows. And so I just think it's made a sort of what was a small niche community into a much larger community that also has the support of kind of the West Texas region in general. I know something I've said for years is that CASP without our artists are just empty rooms. And so it's really cool just for our artists to go, I'm gonna make this happen, and then it happens.